Rupert.
Hello.
Taina.
Hi, Taina.
I just wanted to go back to this morning's meditation, which was beautiful and fascinating. I particularly liked the concept that we give permission for our minds to take our attention. And that's great, because it means I can withdraw that permission.
Exactly.
And I've always felt so powerless
Yes.
when faced with all
Yes.
this noise.
The flapping roof is not trying to disturb us.
No.
It's we who are disturbed by it.
Yeah.
It is not aware that it is disturbing us. It certainly doesn't mean to. It is we that give it permission.
Yeah.
We confer that permission on it. Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted.
Okay. No, it's okay. So that was a big relief. But I'm still finding that there's either I'm either there. Oh, how do I say this? The attention's either on the awareness, if that's the right way of putting it, or it's on the thoughts. I don't seem to be able to just observe the thoughts from awareness, if you know what I mean. Does that just come with practicing the meditation?
So you mean you're observing the thought, you're witnessing the thought from a distance, so to speak. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, but then I still get absorbed. I still get absorbed by it before I've realised,
Yes. Oh. And then when you realise you're lost in the thought, you take a step back, so to speak, and you take a step back into awareness.
Yeah, but sometimes that thought goes on for a long time.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fine. It's good to take the step back and take your stand as the presence of awareness. But at some stage, you realise that the thought itself is just the experience of thinking. So drop the label thought. Mm-hmm. Instead of thinking, I'm aware of thoughts, think, I'm aware of thinking. A thought is an object, but thinking is a process. A thought is a noun, but thinking is a verb. Yeah, no. Don't turn away from the experience of thinking, but imagine you could touch the stuff thinking is made of. The reason I say that is that I don't want you to think about this. I want you to really now you're thinking. Yeah. Now, if you're thinking, you must be experiencing the stuff thinking is made of. Yeah. Thinking is not nothing. Something is there. There is an experience, a real experience called thinking. It must be made of something. And if you're experiencing thinking, you must be experiencing the stuff it's made of. If you're watching the movie, you must be seeing the screen. Yeah? Okay. Now, so you're experiencing thinking, you're experiencing the stuff thinking is made of. Touch that stuff and tell us about it. What is it? What's there?
There doesn't seem to be anything there.
Well, thinking's not nothing. It's true that what's there is kind of empty. It's like grasping at air, but still it's not. There's something there that we call thinking. Otherwise we wouldn't call it thinking. Let me ask you the question in reverse. Is there anything present in thinking other than the knowing of it? Thinking is known, yes. Is there anything apart from knowing in the experience?
No, I don't think so.
There's just the knowing of the experience. Not even the knowing of the experience, as if thinking were one thing and knowing were another. If you touch thinking, there's just knowing there. Like thinking is like a colouring of knowing, a modulation of knowing.
I see.
And knowing is consciousness.
Yeah, okay.
So previously what you found by separating yourself from the thought and witnessing your thought, I am the presence of consciousness that is aware of the thought. Previously you had to separate yourself from the thought to recognize yourself as awareness. But now at this next step, You no longer have to turn away from the thought.
Okay.
Previously you had to turn off the movie in order to see the screen. Now you realize all there is to the movie is the screen. All there is to thinking is knowing or consciousness. So now I can leave the movie playing. I can turn towards my thoughts. I can go anywhere. I can think about whatever I like. All that is there in these thoughts is consciousness, myself. So there, what you previously found by separating yourself from thoughts, you now find at the very heart of the experience of thinking.
But I thought that peace is when thoughts come to an end.
But peace is when you recognize the nature of thoughts, not when thoughts come to an end.
Okay.
You don't get relief when you're watching a movie and you're terrified by the contents. The peace doesn't come when you turn the movie off. The peace comes when when you remember you're watching a movie, that you're just seeing a screen. Oh, it's not real. It's not a real murder. It's just a screen that's when the peace comes. You don't have to turn the movie off to get the peace. You have to recognize what it really is. So the peace that comes in the absence of thinking is not unconditional peace. It's not imperturbable peace. It's peace that can be disturbed at any moment by the next thought. That's not real peace. That's a fragile peace.
Yeah.
The peace that we speak of here is the imperturbable peace. The peace that is present both behind experience but also within experience. In the midst of thinking, feeling, sensing and perceiving, not just in their absence. And then you cease having an agenda with your experience. You don't have to struggle with your thoughts. You don't have to bring your thoughts to an end. You don't have to discipline your thoughts. You don't have to go to war with your thoughts. No, if there are thoughts, there are thoughts. All that is present there is knowing, is consciousness. And you emphasize the consciousness aspect of the thinking. And thinking will, almost certainly as a byproduct of that, slow down. But that's not the aim, it's the byproduct.
Okay. Yeah. Whew.
Yeah, exactly, it's a relief. All these years of struggling with your thoughts in order to have the experience of peace, where you realize you can have the experience of peace in the midst of your activities, not only in their absence. It's a relief.
Thank you.
And then you can go into life, you can go out into life and enjoy life, not think, oh, life it's a distraction. I must repress my enjoyment of life, because no, you can go fully into life, into activities, into relationships, because they no longer have the power to take you away from yourself unless you give them permission to do so, in which case they will do so. You don't have to change the thoughts, you have to withdraw the permission for them to take you away from yourself.
That's very
And
clear,
then the
thank
thoughts
you.
that previously seemed to veil yourself will now shine with yourself.
Okay.
You'll then just enjoy thinking unreservedly.
Wow.
I love thinking, as you've probably noticed.